Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, so we're just recording this because we're just gonna have a little bit of a chat about all our different strengths. So I'll start with myself. So my name is Danny Wells, and one of my strengths is painting the vision. I really believe that I've really got good at painting the vision. So what I do, one of my strengths is I will build up connections with people, build up friendships with people, mostly online because I'm restricted with time. I don't have a lot of time, so I mostly build my business online. If I had more time, I would probably go to networking events and and have hobbies like pole fitness, gym and stuff. But at the minute, I don't have the time, so I just work with that. So I work mostly online. So how I make new friends online, as opposed to going to the gym to make new friends, is by going on to groups that I've got a common interest in. So for me, and this is different for everybody, a common interest I have is leading a vegan lifestyle, which has become a new common interest for me. Breastfeeding support, because I do volunteer as a breastfeeding peer support worker. Pole fitness, children that have got extra and additional needs, different things like that. So everybody has interests. So for me, I just found groups where I had a common interest in, went into the groups and decided to just make some new friends, not necessarily because of Arbonne, just to make some new friends. And how I've made friends online is by, if somebody's made a comment on a group that I think, oh, that's quite a nice comment, or if someone's wrote a negative comment on a group and you open it up and then somebody in those comments has like stood up for something they believe in, and you think, oh, you know, they're nice, they've stood up for something they believe in, I'll click on them and I'll send them a private message and say, oh wow, like what you said is so right, that was amazing, or anything like that I think, oh, they're quite like me, we seem to have the same values. So I'll private message them and build up a bit of a connection. And sometimes you won't get a response back, but sometimes you will. Someone will be like, oh yeah, I said that because of this, and it'll go back and forth, the conversation, the same as if you're at the gym running next to somebody and they pull out the same water bottle as you and you go, oh, I've got that water bottle, and they go, oh right, yeah, this is where I got it from, and you just build up that friendship. So that's how I do it online, really, really simple. And then we just stay friends. So I don't mention anything about my business because at that moment in time it's not relevant. We're just building up a friendship. So I've built up a lot of friendships throughout the past 2 months, particularly over Christmas, while we had the 2 weeks, while I had the children off for 2 weeks. So I've roughly built up about 5 new friendships a day from these different groups. And again, not specific to Arbonne at all, just building up new friendships, chatting to people. I might have liked something that they were wearing in their profile picture. If I was on a page where someone's child was similar to mine, I might comment on it and build up a friendship and add them as friends. Once I've added them as a friend, I will then like their statuses, comment on things, and again, just build up that friendship. And then what will either happen is they will either ask me what I do because we've just been chatting, and I'll say to them, well, what do you do? And they'll say, and then they'll say to me, what do you do? And I say something like this. So in my phone, I've got saved just a little spiel about what I do if someone asks me, and I'll tailor it per person. So if somebody says, oh, I noticed that you do something really fun with work, what is it you do? Or if they ask me something like that, I'll say something along these lines. Morning, it's a vegan and toxic ingredients free company that I work with who refuse to pay for any advertisements as they believe products and food and drink, etc. is better if recommended by real people rather than a celebrity not being truthful on an advert. We all know they don't use the things they claim we should buy, lol. So they just pay normal people to use their products and spread the word on what we like. We have to be honest, if there's things we don't like, we can't be misleading. It's like having a company pay you to have your car sign written so you advertise them while driving around. We basically use all of these products and we advertise them by using and sharing what we think. Does this make sense? I can send over some more information if it sounds like something you think would be interesting to know more about. So that's the sort of reply I would say if somebody said, oh, what's that you do? Obviously, if they would just ask me in conversation, so say like me and Luke have made friends, we've connected on Facebook, our common interest is Arbonne, but then he said to me, oh, what else do you do? And I said, oh, alongside Arbonne, I also do this. I would just be telling him in passing. And then if he said, oh, like, for example, say he says, oh, I noticed you volunteer with children with extra needs. And I'll say, yeah, I do. I really enjoy it. And if he wanted to be involved with it, he'd say, how would I get involved? So I would send in the information. Whether he wants to be involved or not, it doesn't matter to me. I'm emotionally detached from if Luke wants to volunteer with me for children with extra needs. It'd be nice. I'd like to work with Luke, but it doesn't matter if he says no. That's exactly how you need to be with Arbonne as well. So I send something like that, and then most of the time they say, yeah, send me some more information. So then I send, and then on my phone in my notes, I've got another folder that's got the information on. So I send something like this and I tailor it per person. I put, okay, here are the videos of myself explaining how I found the business I work with and how it works. Just watch the first couple of minutes of video 1, and if it sounds like something of interest to you, then watch the first couple of minutes of video 2, where I explain how it works. Don't worry about the third one for now. That's just in-depth and exact figure earnings and what I was exactly earning at the 4 levels, etc. But it's in-depth, so no need to worry about that until you know it's something you definitely want to know more about. Love, Danny. And then I've got 3 videos of me. So just a couple of things about that. The reason why I say just watch the first 2 minutes is because if someone sends you a 10-minute video, you're less likely to watch it because you think, oh gosh, it's 10 minutes. But if someone sends you a 10-minute video and says, just watch the first 2 minutes, see if it's something that interests you, you'll watch the first 2 minutes there and then, and you'll likely be interested in what it is. So you'll end up watching all of it. And I find everybody I say, just watch the first 2 minutes, tends to watch all of it, including the third one. Even though I've said, don't worry about the third one for now. But if I include it, they tend to watch it. And the reason, and something else, I find that when people use my videos, they don't have as much success unlike I do. And I think it's because the videos are of me. And because they're talking to me and they're seeing the videos of me, I think it really, really helps, because I've known other consultants use my videos and they don't have the same success that I have, yet they're exactly the same videos. But I think people like to watch videos of you as a person. So I have recommended, and Jane's done this, recording your own, and Jane's done it, and Jane's had really great success with her own video. So I do think that's made a difference for me. And then I will add them into my team page, so the Wells Nation page. And the reason why I use that one is because it's usually quite full of positivity. There's usually a lot going on. There's lots of different people commenting. So I use that as a bit of a tool as well, so they can see what the team is like, which is really great. And then I would just chat to them more and more. I will ring, if I can't meet them for a one-to-one, I will ring them on the phone. As nerve-wracking as that is, making a phone call, I will ring them and have a chat with them. I'm always really honest as well. So when I have a chat with somebody, so say Luke was asking me about my business, I'd say, he'd watched all the videos and said, oh, it sounds really, really good. I'd be like, yeah, it is. Are you free later on? I'll give you a ring. And he'd be like, yeah. So I'd ring him up and I'd just ask him how his day's been, what he's been doing. And then I'd be like, okay, so Arbonne then. So is there any questions that come to mind straight away? And usually people just say, I'm worried that I don't know enough people, or I'm worried about that. Usually they're worried about something. I'll say, okay, so let me tell you now, I'm going to tell you straight. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not one of those things that you get involved with and you're going to make loads and loads of money straight away. It is an effort-based business. And what you have to do is put the effort and time in to learn about these products, to be able to know enough to tell other people about these products. So you do have to dedicate an hour or 2 a day to learning about these products, to be able to share that information with other people, because people are going to be buying these products based on what you tell them. So you need to become a bit of an expert about that. But don't worry, because in the beginning you've got me as well, and I know these products inside out, so I will be able to help you with every single person that you speak to. But eventually your aim is to know about these products inside out, to provide that service, because basically we are providing a service, and you need to take that really seriously. There's no point recommending products that you don't know anything about and you're not willing to know anything about. And I make that really clear, and people are like, okay. And I make it really clear that this is a business and they will need to eventually have a lot of the products. And I say, in the beginning, you can do this business with just a few products, but eventually, you need to be, the money you earn from Arbonne, you need to be investing back into your business to build up a product base. And I just make that really clear to people, and they're like, okay. Because I think when in the beginning, used to say, oh, it's dead easy, we're all going to be millionaires. People bought into the whole idea of how great this business is. And that's great that they do, but you need to be really, really honest and make sure that they actually do want to put the time and effort into this. So I do that as well. And I do paint the vision really big. So I'll make sure they understand those couple of things that they need to do. And then I'll say, obviously, this is absolutely amazing. And it took me 11 months to get my car. The fastest person's been 12 weeks. It's absolutely possible to do it even quicker than that. It's amazing. We get to go on holidays. we get to do this. And I paint it really, really big. And I'm like, to this day, no one has ever come to me and said, Danny, I know something that you could do that's even better than Arbonne. Nothing has ever come into my life that has been better than this. This is absolutely incredible. It's so much fun. It's, you know, you only need to really dedicate a couple of hours a day to it. You can dedicate more if you want to. What else can you do where you can dedicate a couple of hours a day around your job and your children to earning this extra income that you can leave to your family, you can will to your children? And we just have a phone conversation about it, and I get them really excited. And they're like, wow, it's really exciting. I'm like, yeah, it is. And then I listen to what they want, and I say to them, what would you do if you had like an extra £1,000 a month? And they tell me, I listen, and they tell me what they would do with it. I'm like, yeah, well, that'd be amazing. And whatever they tell me, I make sure I always remind them of that. So when I first sponsored Stacey, I asked her what she would do if she had an extra £1,000 a month. And she said her dad's really poorly and her mum needs to be more financially secure. I remind her about that all of the time. I always say to her, you're on your way now to getting what you wanted. You wanted your mum and dad to be financially secure. And I always remind her of that because I know her why. Or I knew what her why was in the beginning. It's got deeper now, but that's what it was in the beginning. When I sponsor somebody, I phone them every single day if they're happy for me to. And when I ring them up, I'll say, oh, I'm just driving, so I've just got a couple of minutes, so they know I'm not going to be on the phone for ages. And I'll say, how's your day been? And I listen to what they want to tell me about their day. So they'll say, oh, I've been reading this book, I've listened to this audio, I've used this product, and I listen to them, and I'll try and phone them every single day if I can do, just to keep that momentum going, because people do deflate, they do drop. So if you can keep talking to them every single day, like if someone was quitting smoking, it just keeps you plugged in and tapped in until they've got past that like up and down that you have with network marketing. So that's just a little bit about one of my strengths. I'm absolutely happy to answer any questions. And equally, if people want to share theirs, I realise that I've spoke for quite a while there.
Not like you, Danny.
I know. Does anyone want to add anything to that?
No, I think what you said is completely true, you know, and especially about the videos where you've said, you know, people have used your videos and have not had as much success. And I think that's because people need to see that this business is real. So people who don't know you, Danny, won't be able to go, wow, she's amazing, because they don't know who you are. And actually, by doing your own videos and being able to share that, it shows people that something about this is real. Like, oh, they are actually doing something. So for me, the big thing I took away from your strength is those videos and how important they are. Oh, have I disappeared? Sorry.
No, you're still there.
I'm still there, so didn't flashed up. So I think the video thing was a really, really important one that you've highlighted there. And I think, you know, some people in this business won't be as confident as others in the beginning, but that is the beauty of this business, that we all grow our confidence, and there's people that there want to help you. Because I would say my strength is around transferring passion, energy, and enthusiasm, which is a really important, I think, kind of skill and quality that you should have in network marketing. You know, I always believe that a smile goes a long way. So when you're presenting, when you're talking to someone, smile at them. It translates on so many emotional levels. Whereas if you're looking really serious, really kind of deadpan, really desperate to get your point across, that is going to just put people off. And what we're in this business for is to share a professional opportunity, but we can still have fun and we can still, you know, show energy. So I think passion and enthusiasm's a really good strength to have, because people want to know why it will change their life. We are the examples of why this will change your life, you know. We are bettering our lives and we are having a fun time doing it. Yes, there's ups and downs, and yes, it can be stressful now and again. But at the end of the day is we are building this phenomenal future that most of us, back when we were probably 15, 16, 17, 18, would never dream that we would ever have potentially. So yeah, you've raised some really good points, Danny.
What about your strength, Luke?
Yeah, so I think the one I was saying, it is the passion and enthusiasm. I definitely know that's my strength there. I'm able to communicate with people. And like you say, listening is so key. There's an amazing quote that says, you know, seek first to understand and then to be understood. Because often when we communicate with people, we just want to make our point. So we're listening to the other person, but all we're thinking about is what I'm going to say next. And if you ever do that, like we can probably all relate to that when you're having a conversation, when you're looking at someone, you are listening to what they're saying, but all you're thinking about is, I just want to say what I want to say next. And, you know, it's things like that. Like removing that and actually saying, no, I'm going to listen to what this person wants to say, and then I'm going to kind of make my point about what I want to. And I think that has to come across in passion and enthusiasm, because like I say, people are buying into you with this business. They're buying into an opportunity in a business, but part of the reason people join is because of the person that introduces them. You know, if you're not inspirational and you're not kind of giving anyone an encouraging kind of reason to join, then, you know, they are going to struggle more than others, you know. So for me, passion and enthusiasm is a definite strength, and listening to people. Yeah, let's seek first to understand and then to be understood. Always smile, have passion, have enthusiasm in your voice, have urgency, but be patient as well. So, you know, don't dismiss people. Just like you say, Danny said, when you ring, hi, how are you? Just got a couple of minutes. Just want to see how your day is, you know, and also reinforce that why. Like you were saying that Stacey, you remind her all the time. And me and Jen, I've had situations before where we've had chats and I've had to say to Jen, you know, Jen, why are you doing this business? And that is why having a strong why is so important. So yeah, so I won't talk much longer.
What else we got? Jen and Danny, do you guys want to share?
Is Jen talking?
Have you not got audio?
Is it Jen Cowie or me?
Oh, sorry, I meant Jen and Danny Cowie, but whoever, I don't know. What's going on?
Are they there?
We are here.
Yeah.
Here.
Did you just not know which Jen I was talking to?
Yeah, we were confused.
I feel a bit put on the spot. I don't know what you want me to say. Sorry.
Did you want to add anything to anything that we've said so far? Don't worry if you don't know.
I think you've covered it all.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to add.
I'd like to also add as well, Danny, with like what you say, you know, with obviously if you don't have any time, you know, obviously with your busy life and, you know, kids and everything like that, with your point of making, because you're so busy, you try and tap in through obviously the internet with groups and Facebook with stuff like that, which is very, very, very good. I've started to do a little bit of that myself, you know, so with me, with my biking and my, I'm trying to channel down my roots of trying to do that. So even though LinkedIn is very, very good and very professional, I'm not saying I've not had much luck with it, but obviously with keeping obviously with the Facebook, it's keeping it more realistic, isn't it? Because they can see your life and your, you know, what you're getting to on a daily basis. So it was a very, very good point as well with that, you know, which I'm incorporating with now. So yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, smiling as well, but I really get what you mean as well, Luke, because obviously when people speak, you're trying to get out your point because you don't kind of you are listening to what they're saying, but you're kind of wanting to put your point across as well. So that's something I'm working on a little bit as well, which is a very good attribute to have, I guess.
I think you just touched on it there, like sharing a lifestyle. I think that's really important as well. Like, I'm a big believer in you know, when you've had an amazing day, you know, an event or whatever, take lots of pictures, take videos, because the amount of people I get coming up to me and going, what's this, you know, what are you doing? What are you sharing on Facebook? And funny, I went to a party last night actually, and it was a village party. So obviously I've grown up in the village. So when you live in a village, I don't know if any of you have before.
Yeah.
As everyone.
Yeah.
They kept coming up to me saying, oh my God, they're like, I love your videos. You know, I love what, you know, you like you're having an amazing time. And like, I had that many people asking me, you know, it does work. You don't always think it does, but people are interested. And you know what? It's all about your pipeline in terms of prospecting. You've got to shift your mindset from feeling like everyone I meet and everyone I come into contact with, I have to sign them up there and then. It's not about that. It's just about getting people from exposure to exposure, because in the long run, these people will come to you when you're ready. I think Danny mentioned it, you know, she chats with people, she builds friendships. She doesn't force them, because if you just mention, this is what I'm involved in, people will say, actually, that sounds like something I'm interested in. So, you know, so don't always think that every opportunity has to be about dragging people in or bringing people into the opportunity, because actually you are just sharing something. But what I would also say is make sure people know that it's open to anyone, because I've had a few experiences before where people didn't actually realise. I think people just sometimes think, because I never really mention Arbonne in my statuses. I just put my business, and sometimes I don't think people realise that anyone can do the business.
Yeah.
What I mean, because actually they just think I've just got my own business.
It would be similar, because like I was going back to saying that I volunteer for children with special needs, and it would be like me trying to say to Luke, you need to come and do this. I'm going to sign you up. You're going to give up your time every Thursday morning. You're going to come with me to do this. He'd be like, whoa, what are you on about? What am I getting involved with? But if I just said to Luke in a passing conversation, oh, this is what I do, and if he said, oh, that sounds really interesting, I'd be like, do you know what it is? I absolutely love it. I give up my time. We do this. You know, do you know anyone that you think might like to do it as well? And then he might say something like, do you know what? I'd quite fancy myself doing something like that. I'd be like, well, tell you what, come and take a look and see what you think, and then decide from there. And when I mean take a look at that, that would be me taking him along to volunteer with me one Thursday morning for him to have a look. But in Arbonne terms, that means doing a one-to-one with the presentation, where no emotions attached to what their decision is. You're just saying, well, take a look then and see what you think. And
you're absolutely right. This is the thing. And unless you told me, if you just said to me, I volunteer down at wherever it was you said, I wouldn't know that's something I could be involved in. Unless you said, I'm showing other people, anyone can be involved in this. You know, it's just making sure that, you're making it just informally telling someone as you normally would. If you had your regular business, if you had your own clothes shop, whatever, you would just say, I run and own a clothes shop and I absolutely love doing it. You would just be normal. But I think because we know it means something to us in this business, we often get carried away with our emotions, thinking about the outcome too much. And actually the second you move the outcome and you just think, do you know what, all I'm doing is just sharing something that I do, that I'm very passionate about and that I love, and then just making it clear that it is for anybody. And like Danny said, third party invitation, immensely powerful, you know, especially for those people that you're scared to ask. When you're scared to ask someone, you know, oh, I know you might not be interested in this, but do you know anyone who would want to earn more money around what they currently do, you know, with their own business? You know, it's an incredibly powerful thing.
Jen Gregory, did you want to share anything or any of your strengths?
So I'd say my biggest strength is probably my direct way of speaking. Sometimes that can go against me. Especially in my corporate jobs in the past, I've got a lot of slap hands for it, but it actually makes me a lot less fluffy. And I have a very good way of presenting. I've presented quite a few times at our region training. And for some reason, I don't mean to, but I tend to add a comical twist to everything I do. So I think the direct approach that I have, along with the kind of comical side of it, it kind of lightens the spirit a little bit more, and people just take it with a pinch of salt, they take it seriously, and it's like, here it is, I lay it on the table, and that's that. If they want it, they want it. If they don't, they don't. And I just find that works for me in my personality. I don't try to kind of over fluff anything in this business, because it is perfect the way it is. You don't need to. So I'd say that is my biggest strength. That's all I've really got to add, but I really love everything you've suggested. It's worked a lot on the warm market, but I haven't really ventured into the cold market yet, and that's definitely where Steve and I are going now. With our home life situation is drastically changing at the minute, so we need to venture into our cold market. So I'm really excited about trying that out as of tonight.
Where would you most likely find making new friends? Would it be in person at something, or would it be online?
Mine will definitely be online. Steve will be online. We're not. I always say they're too busy. It's such a bad excuse, but because we have a lot going on, just the idea of taking on anything else right now is just ridiculous. So I don't even get time to go to the gym. Actually, I just don't want to go to the gym, so I don't make time. But the point is that I should be going, and I probably would have made loads of friends by now. But no, if I'm not committing to that, I'm definitely not committing to any extra activities.
But I think this shows how this business can work for anybody. Because there's a few of you on here that have kids. I think you all have kids, actually. I'm the only one that doesn't. And for you, it's important to grow this online in pockets of time, because you know, kids do take up a lot of time. So your methods are great. Whereas me, I'm actually polar opposite to what Jen's saying. Like, I physically have to be out and about doing stuff. I've always been somebody that's very much like, I do my musicals, so I'm always at my musical group every week. I like going to like fitness classes and things like that. I have to be part of things. So for those people that don't have kids, definitely recommend getting into clubs and things like that. You know, I'm part of, like I said, my musical. There's about 40 people at this musical. There's a whole network. Before you even start going, who does that person, who knows that, you know, how many people does that person know at rehearsals, and all the people that aren't there, suddenly you've got this humongous network potentially at your fingertips just through going to a group. So for me, I can fit those things in, which just shows how good this business is for everybody, if that makes sense.
Good. Can I just add something as well before Jane speaks about not knowing enough people? Because this is one of my biggest bugbears when I hear people say, I don't know enough people. It really, really grates on me, because you wouldn't just decide to become a hairdresser and say, I'm going to go to college to become a hairdresser, and then say, actually, I'm not going to do it because I don't know enough people. I don't know enough people whose hair I can cut. Or you wouldn't go to university and train to be a lawyer and say, actually, I'm not going to do that because I don't know enough people. You just don't hear people say that. You do not hear people train to do a job and say, I don't know enough people, because it's not about who you know that you can provide a service for. If you train to be a hairdresser, you are going to be a hairdresser and you're going to meet people. And the people that you meet are going to know other people that are going to want to know a hairdresser. And people are going to want to know a health and wellness consultant or someone that can help them build a business part-time around what they already do. So when I hear people say, I don't know enough people, I'm like, it's not about who you know.
When you say that, you're not actually taking your business seriously when you say that, because you've just given a perfect example there. As a hairdresser, as a makeup artist, as a lawyer, whatever, nobody knows everybody. And how do businesses gain customers? How does any regular business gain customers? Through word of mouth. The way that we're doing things is no different to the way the rest of the world operates. Me and Jan, we work in a debt management company. How do you think our business gets customers? Through Google, through word of mouth, through people saying, I've just cleared my debts with PayPlan. Go and use them. It's it is actually exactly how the rest of the world works. But we just seem to look at it differently, because I think it's because it's about us, because it's easier to blame other things than ourselves, because we're completely responsible and we are completely exposed in this business. It's easy for us to say, I don't know enough people, I haven't got enough time, I'm too busy, I'm blah, whatever. But actually, I just love that example you've given, Danny, because you're absolutely right with the hair. Like, how does a hairdresser get customers? She goes out there and gets them. She puts flyers up. Friends recommend them.
Can you imagine if you had a friend that was a hairdresser and then you met them and you said, oh, how's work going? And said, oh, I'm not doing it anymore. And you said, oh, why not a hairdresser anymore? And they went, oh, I just didn't know enough people. You'd be like, more like you're shit. Not me. You don't know people.
Weird, you know?
Hey?
I think you think it's weird if you met somebody who went, I've given that up because I don't know people. It's social conditioning, Danny. Like, it is. Like, we're just conditioned to operate in this working world. Like, it's straight, you know, it's a shift at the end of the day what we're all making, isn't it? You know, and network marketing is going to be massive. You know, next $1 trillion industry. It's going to be huge. And in the next 10 years, everyone's going to know about it.
Absolutely. And actually, going back to that, Danny, if I had a friend who was a hairdresser and they said I'd stopped working my business because I didn't have any hair to cut, I'd have gone, well, you could have done my hair if they weren't doing it. And, you know, it's like that for other people. They'd have gone, well, you know, you didn't tell me about your business, or, you know, you didn't tell me you were a health and wellness consultant.
Yeah.
So it's not about us.
Very true. Jane, did you want to add anything to those comments or share your strength?
Yeah, just going on from what you said about the hairdresser, and obviously if you're a good hairdresser and you're good at what you're doing, knowledgeable, people are going to refer you and come back to you. So for us, we need to be, like you've said, the best that we can be, you know, and then not know all the knowledge we can do, which is just keep learning. And I think for me, because everyone knows how I've struggled with confidence and kind of self-belief and been through stuff, which everybody does, I can kind of sympathise with people and put across how this business can change you as a person. It's all great having a why and wanting the extra income and all that, but for a lot of people, it's wanting to change as a person. And I think I can sympathise and offer advice and feelings to a lot of people with that, which I think is just another side of it. Which is a little bit what I was talking to the lady I had the one-to-one with today, because she said she's so busy working and then she comes home, does the children, and she just wants to go to bed. And she said her other half keeps just saying she's a misery all the time and she's really moody. And I was just sympathising with her and saying, you know, how I used to be and how this has changed me. And I was telling her about the separation and stuff and just relating to her really on how she was feeling and how it could help her, sort of thing. So that's what I like to help out with.
I think, Jane, you're really good as well at recommending products for people.
Yeah, I seem to be having quite a bit of success with that recently. Yeah, kind of just found my way, because I found that just posting kind of on the wall and stuff doesn't really work, but really helping people find what they need.
What's made you shift to this new way of customer service?
Not getting the results. And just seeing that, just putting it out there, who would like to try this or that, it just looks like I'm trying to flog stuff. So it's giving that more personal service. Everyone's an individual, so it's helping that individual with their specific needs, which is you know, what we all want to do at the end of the day. And it's such a lovely feeling when you do get that result where you've helped someone and they come back and they tell you the result they had. It's lovely. So and back to the videos, yeah, they definitely do help. They've really helped me having my own. Took me many attempts to record, because that's been one of my biggest hurdles, recording myself. Absolutely hate it, and I'm about ready to throw the laptop out the window, but finally got them done. But yeah, so definitely worth doing.
For anyone that's watching the recording of this, what those videos are, because I didn't actually mention what those 3 videos were that I sent, and what Jane's obviously talking about as well, is video 1, which I say just watch the first 2 minutes of, is actually about an 8-minute video of just me talking about how I found this business. So like your 60-second story, but a little bit more expanded. So I'll talk about what I did before, what happened in my life that made things change, and then how I found Arbonne, what I thought to Arbonne. So just a little mini version of my why. Then the second video, which is about 10 minutes long, is me explaining on a whiteboard how Arbonne is a network marketing company that has 2 sides to it. So network marketing and direct sales, and how those 2 different things, what those 2 different things are and how they work. And then the third video, which is about half an hour long, is me doing the Discover Arbonne presentation with like loads and loads of in-depth information. So I find that people, they watch it in order. They watch me talking about this business, how it works, and then they go on to watch the in-depth one. Whereas when I used to send just the in-depth one for 30 minutes first, people didn't watch it because they just used to see 30 minutes and it'd put them off.
And I've just copied Danny's and done my own. Was
that, Luke?
The best copycat wins.
Exactly.
But also, what I'd like to add with that as well, Jane and Danny, with obviously doing your own videos, like, you know, they are personally from yourself and people can see that it is actually you and it is a business and everybody can do it. But also as well, it's good practicing for yourself though, isn't it? With practicing the DA and learning more about this. So it's going to benefit your business anyway with learning about what we're doing. And then you can present that to people, you know, in person as well. So they haven't got to watch a video if you don't want to do it like that, or you can do it like on a one-to-one basis. So you are benefiting from it, you know, which is very, very good. So some people aren't, you know, confident to do it in person, but if they can do it in their own home, fantastic. So that's a really good point I've taken from that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely right. Because when Danny first showed me on the whiteboard about the 2 sides to our business, the direct sales and the network marketing, I was like, oh God, how can I ever copy this and explain? But just watching it a few times and then practicing it myself, I can do it no trouble at all now to people. And one lady I met the other day, she was really confused up until showing her that, and then she got it straight away.
Then she signed up, didn't she?
She did, yeah. Yeah, she couldn't work out how she got paid. So just drawing that, it was just so simple for her.
That's often what people just want to know, though, don't they? Sometimes, like, how do I earn money? Like, yeah.
Well, she's only 18, bless her, so she's like, am I going to make money?
Well, good job you didn't lob that laptop out the window then.
I know. Yeah.
One of the strengths as well is I say to my new consultants about launching them as soon as possible, and I say to them, okay, so you've just started your own business, so we do need to open your business, and because it's online, it's not like you've opened up a shop in town where you would, have your ribbon outside the front, you'd invite your nan, your granddad and all your friends, you'd come along, they'd cut the ribbon. I said, you've got to think about your business the same as if you just opened up a childminders in town, a nursery in town. You would still invite people that wouldn't benefit from your service. So your nan and your granddad, they're not going to benefit from paying a nursery for any reason, but you'd still invite them, and they nod, they say, yeah, say, okay, so your online business launch and your in-person launches of your business, it is really important that we have quite a lot of them, some online, some in person. You invite, maybe I tell them to invite about 8 people per one, in the hope that maybe 5 or 6 will turn up, to keep them small. And I say, you invite everybody you know, even if you don't believe they will be interested in keeping themselves clean or eating and buying from your business, you still invite them, because it is a celebration of your business, and you want them to come along and support what you do and understand what you do, so that they can go on to tell their network of friends and family what you do. So we literally follow the top 10 things to do document, literally by the T. So once they've started their business, so say Jane started her business today, tomorrow we book a Zoom call and I teach her how to use Zoom, and on the Zoom we go through the Arbonne website. Obviously if we could meet in person, we'd do this in person, but I'm just talking online. We go through Strong Start, we book their launches, and we just get their business up and running as soon as possible, like as quick as we possibly can. We book all that in straight away. And then at the launches, so at the in-person ones, I do mini hand spas at the sink, which is optional. And then the host or the person who's just started their business does their mini why, thanks everybody for coming, introduces me, I do my why. And then we do a couple of games just to break the ice, make everybody laugh. If people are laughing, they feel easy, they feel at ease. And then we go through if it's a launch, we go through how the business works, which I do on the whiteboard. Obviously, if it's not a launch, it's just a product event, we don't do that. And then we go through the products. And then what we've done, and this again is optional, is we've said anyone that orders tonight as a special VIP to so-and-so's launch will receive a discount, however much the person whose business is wants to give. And then we have found that pretty much everybody orders something from that event to support that person's business. And it just goes from there, really. That's just what we've done. Does anyone else have any tips they wanted to share?
I don't so much I don't know whether you want, sorry, I'm completely sort of thrown in at the deep end here, because I've got a message from Danny at about 2 minutes past 7 going, we're all jumping on a Zoom. So hence why I'm a bit unprepared. But I've got a tip once you've sponsored somebody. Is that going to help? Or?
Yeah, share it.
Yes. So once I've sponsored somebody, kind of like what Danny said about keeping in touch with her new sponsor, I would be breathing belief in a new sponsor. So letting them know how much potential they've got. Because when you first start, you think, are people even going to care what I'm using to wash my hair in? Am I going to be any good in this? How am I going to learn about all the products? And just from somebody who's been in the business saying, you've got so much potential, you're an ace. I think Cecilia Stoll says put a tan on their head, doesn't she? And just let them know how amazing they're going to be at this business, because anybody can do it. It's just a decision if you are going to do it or not, and if you are going to be a national vice president. So if you just show them how much potential, how much you believe in them, I find that goes a long way. And if you expect people to do really well, more often than not, they will do really well. They live up to your expectations rather than let you down.
That's a great tip. Does anyone want to share anything else, Jane?
No, I think just be yourself. I mean, we've covered most of it, but yeah, just be yourself. I mean, the one I did this morning, we didn't go over the DA or anything. She'd watched my videos, she understood it all, and it was just lovely just to have a chat and find out about her. That was it, just get to know her, and it was just really nice.
And do get to know people. When you sponsor somebody into your business, you are building a friendship. So do get to know them, meet them outside of Arbonne, to just get to know them as a person, listen to what they want to say about their children, their pets, their job, what they want to do, where they want to travel. Just do get to know them as a person. Don't see them as an override, a percentage that you're going to earn off them, because it's not about that. It's about learning about people and investing in them. Invest your time into them as a person, because if you invest your time into them as a person, it will pay off, because people do stay because of the relationships that are built. And it doesn't matter how some hard days that you have in this business. I would never leave this business for so many reasons, mostly personal reasons I wouldn't leave. But a couple of the reasons are the relationships I've built with my upline. So like Fiona McCarthy is one of my best friends, and I would never let her down from this business. And if you do build those strong relationships, people will never leave, because they love you as a person and they love being part of the team. So do build those really, really strong relationships with people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
I think the social side is massive to this, and I think that's, you know, what people like. I was saying today, you know, the friends that I've made that I never knew before, because she said, oh, you must have known Danny really well before. And I said, I briefly spoke to her at pole fit class, that was it. Said we barely knew each other. I said, but now we feel like we've known each other for years.
You have.
And do you know what? That's the beauty of this business, though, because you can build up relationships and friendships with people that I wouldn't say necessarily speak to, but because of this business, you're meeting people outside of your social network and building up these massive, and they're more like-minded, and you can build up this friendship and family that you never thought that you'd ever have. So like Danny was, you know, saying about earlier about being a hairdresser, well, I don't really know if anybody. Well, this business is going to do that for you and for your family and for your network. So, you know, as a plus taken from that, you are going to build up your social skills, your confidence, and your integrity, and just going to be flying with it. So something that you're going to get from this business is confidence. So, you know, that's a massive thing for me, because on the outside, I might look like a confident kind of guy. Yeah, I kind of am, but I'm a little bit shy and reserved in you know, at times. But the business has given me that and a bit more confidence. So that's a massive tick for the box for me as well. So it's all smiles from me. So yeah, it's all good.
I mean, if you were a hairdresser and someone said to you, oh, you can come meet loads and loads of other hairdressers and it's just going to be really fun, and we're going to go to Vegas on a 2-week trip, and we're going to learn how to, you know, colour someone's hair and do all that, they'd go, yeah, definitely, because they know as a hairdresser that they're going to learn so much by going to things like that. So it's the same sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lots of people around you to help you, I think, is my point.
Definitely. I've got another point to add, and it's a lot of people ask me about the what do you say when someone hasn't got a lot of money question. This comes up a lot. Well, for me, that was a reality in my life. I didn't have £54 to start my own business, which it was then. Obviously now it's 56. But for me, I was so sick to death, literally sick to death of people putting on things that would cost XYZ and me going, oh, I don't have enough money, or having to budget my week around like literally £10-20, if that. I was sick of it. And for me, what I thought was either I carry on living like that, never having enough money, and what would I do if somebody pulled up outside my front door with a 30 grand Mercedes and said, do you want this for £1,000? I'd obviously be like, yes, I do, but I don't have the money. I was sick of living that life. Or was I prepared to put in some time and effort into my own business, provide a service, learn to be a health, wellness and beauty consultant, and provide that service for a lot of people and be paid for that service, be paid for my time, my knowledge, what I've learned about, be paid for my product knowledge to help other people? Was I prepared to do that, to get paid, so that I never, ever had to have that feeling of saying, I don't have enough money ever again? Yes, I absolutely was. So when people say to me, what do you do if someone doesn't have enough money? I say, how desperate are they to never have to say, I don't have enough money ever again? Because for me, I was so desperate to never have that feeling again. And since the day I started this business, I have never, ever gone back into my overdraft since I cleared it with Arbonne. And I've never had to say, oh, I don't have enough money, ever. And it's such a nice feeling. Like when we had Arizona, I could pay for 3 other people to go without having, I mean, they're going to pay me back or they're paying me back, but I could just do that and not have to worry about it. I mean,
hang on a minute.
but yeah, so when people say I don't have enough money, it depends how desperate they are to change that in their life.
I think you're absolutely right, Danny.
But what a thing as well to have though, Danny, to have that money to give that, you know, hope to people, to say to them, look, you know, I can pay for you to go on to this trip. I know you're going to pay me back, but to give that back to somebody, and that's what the company has given you as well, not for monetary reasons, but it's to give that chance for people to get out of that situation where you was. So, you know, that's a massive thing, you know, giving back to people, and that's what we do with the business. So, you know, you can say, I've come from here and now I'm there, but I'm still grounded, so I can still, you know, have my feet on the ground and I can still give, you know, and that's one of the massive things I believe in as well. You know, no matter how much money you've got, if you're still grounded, you can still give to people. That's amazing. You know, that's an attribute to be proud of, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's also like sort of removing yourself almost. When you're explaining business to somebody, removing yourself. So I always make a point of saying that my sponsor is a district manager and she's still in the business and she's still working her business. But I'm never capped on whoever's sponsored you. So if somebody sponsors you into a business, you're not held at their level, so that people actually realise that, okay, so say they're earning a certain amount of money or they're not driving a car, but I want to drive the car in 6 months' time and be earning £15,000. I try and sort of paint the vision to make them realise that anything's possible, and that if that's what they want to do, there's no reason why they can't.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, you know, when you're showing and educating someone about the opportunity that we have, it's not your responsibility for them to raise the money to pay their £56, you know, to join this business. And at the end of the day, you know, like Danny said, how desperate does that person want it? If you're showing them an opportunity, if they say, I don't think I have the money, then, you know, it's just about questioning people, open questions to see if that is something that they would be willing to, you know, flexible. So, you know, we all know that giving up, you have to give up a couple of things in this business sometimes to be able to kind of succeed. It's like with any business, you have to do that. And actually saying to someone, you know, okay, then is this business something that you're interested in doing, but your issue is that you've got no money? Right, got it. So what changes could you make in your current lifestyle that meant that you could possibly save up that money or create that flow of income so that you can pursue this business? And actually let them answer it. Because what we're in the business of is creating independent consultants. I've had to learn a lot about this. Because literally, I know when I'm an MVP, I'm going to be one of these MVPs that sits there and goes, I made every mistake, every single mistake possible. Like, I go to all these trainings and they say these mistakes, like, you know, people do this and people do that. I'm like, oh God, I did that. And actually, I was just building consultants and wanting it more for them than they wanted it for themselves. And I've definitely shifted now to think, you know what? No, because if you do everything for people, if you lend them money, except like to start their business, which I have done before, definitely learn not to do that again. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think it's just about open questions and allowing the other person to come to the answers.
You learn more from your failures than you do your successes, though.
Absolutely.
So it might have cost you £56, but you've learnt probably a lesson that's cost you, well,
exactly.
I think we should end on that tip, that just fail forward. The biggest top tip I think we can all give is just do it, fall flat on your face, do it again a little bit better, fall on your face again, get a little bit better, fall on your face, get a little bit better, be an expert, be amazing. Keep making mistakes, failing forwards. Read John C. Maxwell's forwards. It's amazing.
And say, but never give up.
Never give up.
No.
Yeah,
nobody who is successful, they just didn't give up. They just didn't give in. They carried on.
Exactly. Right, I'm going to stop the recording then. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.